Hey, what's going on, everybody? Brando, free to play, and in today's video is going to be 5 tips to do better in Guild Showdown. Now, these 5 tips are applicable to everybody: free to play, pay to play, heavy spenders, or completely free to play players like myself. Alright, so let's get started. Number 5. We need to prepare ourselves and our armies, and a great way of doing that is by increasing our army attack. Now, increasing our army attack can be done in a couple different ways. One is obviously your research, your army offense. You always want to go ahead and have your military as far advanced as you can. Next thing you want to look at is the prison. At level 25, you get a boost whenever you have a leader captured, and depending on the level of the leader you captured, you get a certain percentage. So obviously you want to capture a level 60 leader for 30% attack boost, but anywhere between 55 and 90 and 59, you get 23. So that's around the average leader that you would capture, especially from a castle 17 and above, player castle. That's what you you could expect to get. Okay? So again, this only applies if your prison is level 25. Next thing is the altar. Now, my altar is maxed out at level 25, but your altar at different levels gives you a different percentage of army attack. All right, all the way from 1 down to 38. Okay, so this, obviously you need to execute leaders, but it is extremely useful, especially at max level, at level 25. 38% army attack. Not only does it increase the army attack, it increases army defense, HP, and army travel speed. But travel speed doesn't really apply in Guild Showdown. Okay, so keep that in mind. The last option that I'm going to talk about is the, Army attack boost, 20%. Now, this is a free, you can get the 20% army attack free to play. All you need is some guild coins. Now, the 50% attack boosts, you can get those from Guild Fest. I think maybe some events you might get some, right? But the 50% are very hard to come by. And really, let's be honest, only the heavy pay-to-play players are going to have an abundance of the 50% army attack. And yeah, if you want to use the 50% to get that first place, to have those, bragging rights, go ahead, by all means, do it. The rewards don't really, the rewards don't outweigh the cost of the 50% attack, okay? So that is my tip number 5. So let's go on. Number 4, we're talking about army size. Now again, this is something that is fairly important, because whenever you send an attack, right? Let's look at my battalions. This is what I would normally send, right? Normally you send 250,000 troops, right? Now, when you send 250,000 versus 250,000, you'll be pretty evenly matched. So the more troops you send, either 300 or 375, the more troops you send, the better results you're going to get. Pretty much the bottom line of it, right? And to get these items, you can get the 20% army size boost free to play. All you need is guild coins. You don't need to spend $1. Nothing. Guild coins. Okay? Now, yes, it's 240,000 guild coins, Yes, you can use your guild coins on other things, but this is a free-to-play option. Whether or not you choose to use it, that is up to you. I'm just giving you guys options. Okay. The other option is you can purchase an army size boost of 50% for 5,000 gems. Now, 5,000 gems for a free-to-play player is a butt ton of gems, right? So this, you really have to decide with yourself, is it worth it? Am I within the top 55 in my guild to spend the 5,000 gems? Do I even have enough troops to send 3,750? I mean, 300,070, whatever the number is. I'm getting tongue-tied here. But do I have enough troops to send? Okay, bottom line. So those are your two options to increase your army size. Okay. So number 3 is actually something that is very important, and that's your heroes. What heroes are you going to send? Sending the right heroes is crucial, especially if you're relying on your army, meaning on the army you send, meaning on the 250,000, 300, and 375,000 troops that you're sending, right? You're going up against another player with equal or similar number of troops, so you have to send the correct leaders. You can't be sending Trickster, Incinerator with, a Scarlet Bolt and an Elementalist and a Sage of Storm, right? Don't do it. Don't do it. All those heroes I mentioned aren't going to help you one single bit, right? Send heroes like Rose Knight, Tracker, Demon Slayer, Bomb and Goblin, Death Archer, Snow Queen, Oath Keeper, Black Crow. Those are heroes that will actually benefit you. You're right? So Rose Knight, why will Rose Knight benefit you? 20% army attack. Why will Tracker benefit you? 30% ranged attack. Why will Demon Slayer benefit you? 30% infantry attack and 50% infantry HP. I mean, some of these picks are no-brainers. 20% army attack, Bomb and Goblin, right? Rose Knight, Bomb and Goblin are, I guess, some of the two most important free-to-play heroes you can send in an attack for cavalry and ranged, okay? So the amount of the heroes you send, right, is very important. These are the heroes I send on a general attack, on any attack that I send. This is what I send. Myself, this is what I send because it's what I want to. Now, you don't have to follow what I send, and that's perfectly fine. You find something that works for you, all right? Again, this is what works for me, so you need to find something that's going to work for you and just, find something that works. Try it out. Guild Showdown is a good place to figure out what's going to work and what's not. Okay, so number 2 is troops. Now, this is something that a lot of people always ask. What troops do I send? What troops do I send? What are the best troops? Blah, 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 blah. Well, there are no best troops. Period. There isn't a best troop. Because each one of them has a counter. Infantry counters ranged. Ranged counters cavalry, and cavalry counters infantry. And then all three of those kick the shit out of siege. Right? Siege is only good for walls at low level. So what my rule of thumb when it comes to troop composition and how many troops do I send and what kind of troops I send is based on the heroes that I send. Okay? So if you look at the heroes I'm sending one cavalry hero, one infantry hero, and 3 ranged heroes. So a total of 5. So let's take 100% and divide that by 5. So that equals, that's 20%, right? So we can estimate each hero should equal 20% of your army that you're sending. Okay, follow along with me. All right, so if you're sending a march of 250,000 troops, 20% is 50,000 troops. Okay, so that means I'm sending 50,000 cavalry, 50,000 infantry, and 150,000 ranged. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, if you're sending 2 infantry, 2 cavalry, 1 ranged, then obviously your percentages will change. You will be sending 40% infantry, 40% cavalry, and 20% ranged. If you guys don't want to do the math, 40% out of 250,000 is 100,000 troops. Okay, 100,000, 100,000, 50,000. Got it? Got it? Good. Is your gear and talents. Okay? Gear. Obviously, you do not want to go to register in Guild Showdown with research gear. And let me show you why you don't want to do that. Okay? Let me just do that. Let me just put on just crappy non-attack related gear. Right? Just watch this. Watch this. Okay? And here, there. Okay. So I have my research gear on. And my talents are all jacked up. Right? They're all over the place. Right? So let's take a look at my stats. So I have really good research speed. Right? But what we want in an attack is high infantry, range, cavalry attack percentages, high max HP, and all those things. Right? Right. So keep in mind, look at this. Look at this. It's 160,000. And let's be honest. Obviously, I have fort buffs. I'm level 10 of 10 in my troop attacks stats. So that does play a part. But watch this. Just applying my war gear. Let's see how much of an increase that gave me. Look at that. That looks really, really nice. Doesn't it? Doesn't that look nice? Now, let's apply some talents. Okay? These are the talents that I am running. Okay? You can go ahead and stop and take note, do whatever you want with this. This is what I am using. You can use this if you want. I'm not saying it's going to work for you, but this is something that I use and you guys can try it out. Okay? No guarantees that it will work for you. Okay? Keep that in mind. So now that I have my gear and my talents set and ready to go, let's take a look at how my stats are going to look. Holy shit, 300% across the board. 350, 331, and 308. That is awesome, right? Yes. Now, granted, I do have a 25% increase because of the fort buffs, but without that 25%, it would still be decent stats for a free-to-play player, and my gear is free-to-play. Okay? And obviously, Army Max HP, Army Attack, all these stats are really good, right? You want your army to have a lot of HP to be able to have that staying power. Okay? So that was the top 5. Now, okay? Keep your guild members in check, right? When they register, you will be able to see what they are sending, what their troop composition is, what heroes they're sending, what grade of heroes they're sending. So if you see a guild member sending a purple trickster, a gold pixie, and a gold sage of storms, and a gold scarlet bolt, you need to tell that person, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Right? Those heroes are not going to do jack shit to help your army. Yeah, they're gold heroes, but they're not going to help increase your army's attack. They're not going to help your army do more damage. Make sure that they're sending heroes like Rose Knight, Bomb and Goblin, Snow Queen, Demon Slayer, Oath Keeper. Heroes that will give you, or that specific troop, an attack increase. Okay? Now, I see a lot of people sending Death Knight. Now, he's a great defensive hero for cavalry. Okay? Right? But he's not going to give you that attack. Personally, I would rather send Child of Light over Death Knight. That's just me. Right? So, again, those are some 5 tips plus a bonus tip in case you guys have some trouble in Guild Showdown. Hopefully these tips helped you. As always, go ahead and click like, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please click subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Until later, guys. Bye.